Know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang. Hey, welcome to season 5, episode 171 of Shades of Blue.
This is culturally inappropriate.
We are the most comprehensive show about Manchester City, covering both the men's and women's game, spanning both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. We making art over here. Capitalize the A. I am Crunk Chocolate. I'm here with the show bros, Tarek, Sharpie, Charlie. How's it going? How you doing? How you feeling?
Feel good, man. It's a wonderful day. We got I think this is our last snow of the season, last night into this morning. So I think we're in the clear. Looking forward to sunny days. How you feeling, Tarek?
Well, I wish I had as much optimism as about there being no more snow, because
I'm pretty sure we're getting
that was
some
one
this
benefit
weekend.
of being in the hospital when this big snowstorm came. I couldn't go out there and shovel nothing. So, but
That's a
all
real
in
dad
all,
right there.
man, it's like I can't shovel.
Cup half full,
I'm
cup
in the
half
hospital.
full.
I can't do nothing about that. So yeah, but all in all, man, doing really well. Glad to be back or be here. So yeah, having a good time. Big up to Tom, not here, but much love.
Yep, always here in
Sending
spirit.
prayers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love you, bro. Love you, bro. Shout out to the third child for our intro. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, like the video, subscribe if this is your first time here. Hello. What's up? Hope you enjoy the episode. Stay as long as possible. And honestly, you can just mute it and walk away. Just run up that view time numbers for us. How about that? Listening on an audio.
Don't mute it. I got some takes we got to get off. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
If
you have to walk away,
I don't have no plans.
obviously let it play in the background because you will be entertained, but rather you turn it off if you got something to do. Let it play, mute it. If you're walking around in public, just have it be playing on your phone. Like, do whatever you got to do. Like, just run up our playing times. But actually, I'm very excited about these takes from Tarek. I'm interested now.
I was really just making that up.
Oh,
I don't
damn
really have
it!
anything.
The hook worked.
The
hook worked.
It's got to, when the spirit hits you, you just got to move. So if the spirit hit me in the middle of it, then we do what we do. But,
ISO.
We'll see.
What was the Kobe move? Or there we go.
Yeah.
Audio podcast, 5 stars rating. Show some love, leave a review, say some nice things. All of that stuff helps the algorithm. Subscribe, check out our Patreon. We have all the episodes dropping. We have our match preview series just recorded with Bryn Law. He is the match commentator for Leeds, which means he is the exact person I need to be talking to about Leeds. That episode will be out Thursday a.m., so our very late Wednesday night. Then we have the episode with Bailey Wynn of Sky Blue Times that just dropped. Episode with Asan Naeem of 9320 that drops on Wednesday. And then Saturday, our episode with Theo Lloyd Hughes drops. So that's 4 episodes I just announced for $6 a month. That's just 1 week. You get your bang for your buck. Support an independent podcast while we do our thing and get fantastic content, banger after banger after banger after banger, for $6 a month. In today's episode,
All right, hold on.
Go for it.
I wanted to wait until you finish the ad read because you casually slid in there that you got an interview with the voice of Leeds United Football Club. That's crazy, bro. Like, you be dropping these things and like, yeah, I just talked. Wait, you did what? Like, this guy. I just want to give Crunk his in the recording because he would never do it himself. That is amazing. From Midwestern America all the way over to Leeds.
Yeah,
that's amazing, bro. Great job.
When he put out the interview with Jack Gone, somebody that I end up streaming with in different circles or whatever, they were like, how did you get that? How did you guys manage that? I've been trying to get a hold of him for, trying to get him on the hook forever. And he keeps telling me, no, he doesn't do a lot of stuff, but
no, he
did you guys, obviously. I was like, well, I said, Crunk is the hardest working man in city content creation. That's all I can tell you.
That is not a joke, not a lie.
I can't tell you how he did it. I just know he did it. And it's not just one, it's multiple times at this point.
Yep.
So
yeah, basically, shout out to him. We almost have like Jack Gone exclusivity, and I will take it. He's good people, and I truly enjoy chatting with him as many times as I can. Especially because, again, I feel like he gives it up, but he helps, because all we can really do is just assume and guess, and he does a great job at filling in those blanks. And so I'm just always listening, and I'm just like, oh, shit is actually as wild as you thought it is. Like that whole James Trafford situation. Because we recorded before even the more of the information and all of his other articles and interviews that he did dropped out. So he was telling me all that stuff in that episode, technically before it all was released. But he was like, hey, you're not going to drop it until after those articles will come out. So you can know. But some people don't read. So if you don't want to read, you can find out all that information by watching and or listening, because if you subscribe to our Patreon, you can also just add the RSS feed to your podcast feed, and you can get our Patreon directly to your podcasting apps. Also, thank you, Show Bros. I appreciate the kind words. Newcastle, our narrow win against Newcastle, keeping the 5 straight, unbeaten in 8, something like that. So that keeps it going. We'll dig into that match. We then have to look forward to the game against Leeds, and then just very short Baby Blue Baddies, because it's just the one match that technically you can only watch it on the replay. So I watched the replay. I quickly summarized that for you. And then they're on a break. Oh, should be a fun episode. It was actually really weird, because last week was like an hour and 5 minutes. We got done, and I was like looking at the clock. I was like, oh, nice. All right. I don't think we rushed through anything. It's what happens when there aren't as many games to talk about.
When it flows, it flows, man. You just got to go with it,
Don't question.
We're going to be due for some 2-hour episodes probably in March. We're going to just let it ride. Let it ride.
That is facts, especially, those knockout games start coming. Okay. Premier League versus Newcastle. 3rd week in a row. Well, I guess before we get into the match. This is like the 3rd week in a row that Pep is asked to speak on the importance of empathy and understanding towards fellow humans, basically. 3 weeks ago, it was on genocide. Last week, it was on immigration. And now it's racism.
I said the week before, not for who you were born or for the color of skin make us better or worse. There's a lot of work to do. So it's in the society, it's not in football. So racism is everywhere. You pretend that racism is just for the color of the skin. It's how you behave. It's racism. It's how you pretend that you are better than the other one just for many reasons,
This was in response to Prestiani's alleged, I will say alleged, but he did some bullshit. His alleged racism to Vinny Jr. in the first leg of the Play-in Champions League match. He later then said, they asked right after his response, does football even have the tools to handle or tamper down racism? And he was like, schools are important. Pay our teachers more, which obviously I do agree. Really, the main thing is the homes. Like Sharpie, you can give the kids structure, proper communication, tell the kids you believe in them, and teach them to understand others who look differently than them. You have them 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, There's all a Saturday, there's Sunday once they get home. Like, what else are they hearing from other people that could be the complete opposite of what you're telling and teaching them?
I mean, it's that thing of nature versus nurture, right? Like teachers and your communities nurturing you, but at home, it's like that's where it all starts for real. And if you hear your parents say certain things, you listen to your cousins, your aunties, your uncles, and they have these beliefs, or they're making these gestures, or giving out these views on certain groups of people. Until you're old enough, if you choose to, you probably aren't going to go against what you hear. It takes time. That's why people say, like, when you go to college, theoretically, you learn things and help you develop your worldview. But unless if you aren't getting in there, and let's be real, people who don't have those type of opportunities don't get different viewpoints, and therefore that's why it's 2026 and these things still exist. But we know in this pod, like, there's nothing new. I will say that the way Pep speaks is amazing. The way Vinny Company spoke is amazing. There are people in football, the way, Liam Rissenar at Chelsea, right? You have people in powerful positions who know the right things. It's just terrible when, some people don't use their platforms the right way.
Yeah, because unfortunately, you named off a lot of people who were saying the right things, but then these are also people of color. There were, unfortunately, a decent amount of people who weren't people of color, and their answers weren't necessarily the great, or they would try to play it down. And in the end, those are the people that we're going to need to be speaking up against hatred and bigotry and things like that. And so as long as they kind of try to separate themselves from that, it just gives everybody else an easy out to not acknowledge the damage that racism has on the world, and in this particular case, football. All right. Pep, when he was asked if the players could feel more confident about their chances to win the Premier League title.
Christmas. To be honest, I don't know. I didn't speak 1 second about that with my players. Yesterday, day before, it's just Newcastle. I didn't talk about the table. I didn't talk about the position or something like that.
No title talk at all?
I could not care less. It's 12 games. If you tell me this question, 2 games left, 3 games left, I will have your answer. It's the 4th time you ask me the same question, I will answer you. You should know me. So it's 12 games left. It's an eternity. So many things is going to happen. That is the only truth I have.
Thank you.
Quit, thank you. Quit trying to make me give you clickbait. I'm not going to do it. You're annoying me. Do your job. Like, that's basically all Pep saying. And that is what I love about that man. It's like, I'm going to make you work for this if you're going to try to ask me something. But an unexpected moment from Pep, where he was asked how he handles match preparation with his assistant managers throughout the years. What is something of importance that he very much enjoys about that part of the game?
We need to, especially emotionally, the managers, all the managers can be agree with me. We are so lonely most of the times, even you have surrounded for a lot of players, you feel so lonely. Have a people close to you, like you can rely on, can trust in the bad moments, always a hug, and always ability to make you convinced always there are positive things even in the defeats. This kind of people helps you a lot, because you have a low moment. You are, God, I'm not able to make a click, or the team is not playing good, or whatever. Have people close to you, support you. And not all of them, they are able to do it. That's why I was so lucky, because all of them I had with all different personalities. It helps me. It helps me a lot, not just in terms of knowledge, in terms of being okay. Everything is going to be fine.
What a guy. What a guy. Starting 11. Donnarumma, Nunes, Diaz, Gahey, Ait, Nori, Rodri, Silva, O'Reilly, Semenyo, Marmoush, and Haaland. That, at this moment, is our starting 11. Also, this just reminded me about this. He was asked about this formation and the style where yes, technically you have Marmoush, Semenyo, and Haaland up top, but really it's always like 2 at a time, and then there's someone tucked in centrally. They were like, well, if when Doku gets back, when Sabio comes back, are you going to hold on to this playing style? And he's like, well, honestly, I only have one winger. I'm playing with one winger. So that's why I have Marmoush and Haaland up top, but once I get another winger, the game's going to start. I might change. I might do the same thing. Who sees?
See, what's interesting about that is we saw early in the year when Doku really started to take off, he was playing more inside, right? That's when Nico O'Reilly was left back. He would be on the outside giving the width. And that's when Doku really got super explosive, because what do you do with him when he's not touching the inline? So the flexibility that Pep has, his tactical, genius, that's what makes him so hard. That's why Eddie Howe can barely beat him. Like, that win this season for Newcastle might be the highlight of Eddie Howe's career aside from the cup, because he literally can never beat Pep. We'll see more of that in this match.
Right. Oh my gosh. And we'll see more of them in this season too.
Yeah, for sure. But I think Sharpie's got a point that Doku played his best when he was allowed to come inside. And like you said, he's not limited by being out on the touchline, which takes away, just like a basketball defender, it takes away one. You can't go, if he's on the left, you can't go left. Can only go right or try to beat you down the line. And so it takes away some of his options. So we'll see how he's deployed when he comes back. Hopefully you guys can hear me, because it's telling me that my internet is messed up. But
you're good.
So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see when he comes back how he's played. I think he does something that nobody else in our club can do. So we need him back because he offers a lot. So I'm eager for him to get back soon.
Yes. I mean, just bringing different looks is what's going to be needed, because you really shouldn't play every team the same way. Luckily with Pep, even if he has like the same formation, he can tweak small tactics and have it be the same formation but a different look. But once we get our wingers back in, he can do different formations, different looks, change players up. It'll be very fun to see what he does when everybody who can return healthy. Like, especially like when Kovacic returns, like what is he going to do with Kovacic? Like, that's going to be really interesting. Because he's been away this whole time.
Kovacic be cheering. That's his job. be cheering, training partner, motivational speaker. We don't need him on the pitch. It's okay. It's all right. Get ready for the World Cup. That's your job. Yep. Just be healthy for your country.
Earn this check. Yeah, get healthy. We appreciate your time here. But first, I wanted to show the love to the Etihad crowd. You could see that they were doing their thing during our watch along, but the audio's turned down very low. When I watched the replay, oh my God, they were rocking. And Pep has been talking about the City crowd in particular lately, about their importance and how he really has been talking to the players to give the crowd something to support, give the crowd something to cheer for. And this is exactly the match. He also acknowledges ticket prices, midweek games, when parents have kids and stuff, like they got school in the morning and the game doesn't start until like 7-8 o'clock at night. Like, that's just not a feasible thing. That is what also another thing that I love about Pep, is because yes, he challenges fans to come. He challenges his players to do more to make the players want to come, but also kind of like side eyes the front office and their capitalistic practices that make it where fans don't want to go to these games. And it's just like, we got to do better for these fans for sure. Okay, 2 goals from Nico O'Reilly. First, it was a goal kick from Pope, and he was taking his time. Like, it legit was like a minute and 15 seconds from the foul to the time that he took the kick. I don't know what nonsense what he was doing, but it was almost impressive. What I loved is before the goal, basically from kickoff the entire time that Newcastle were pinned, and City just kept getting so close, so close, so close, and the crowd intensity, you could tell, had Newcastle shook. So what led up to the goal, Rodri wins the header from the goal kick, from Newcastle's goal kick. Haaland gets the second. The ball flicks back and it bounces off of Nico, lands at Marmoush. He takes off. Marmoush is running with the ball. Trippier unsuccessfully tries to knock Marmoush off the ball or foul him. Either one of those things doesn't work. High IQ off the ball movement from Nico, who was on the right. He cuts in front of Marmoush over to the left because Trippier had cut in. So he just had that entire left side for him. Marmoush makes a great pass to Nico O'Reilly. High combo IQ move. O'Reilly lets the ball go across him. He doesn't touch the ball, so it forces Chow to have to make a decision, but having to make those decisions of either close in on O'Reilly, do I close in on Haaland to his left, Marmoush is to his right, what do I do? Nah, man. Nico O'Reilly just yeets that ball into the net. Just a brilliant action from young Auto Parts. Just a banger of a goal. He and with a club like City, who are Celebration Slide FC, Knee Slide FC, he has one of the better ones. Like he slides, he has like a nice little lean back too. He doesn't move. He does like different things. Like he's like bro's a vibe. He is a calm, cold-blooded killer.
I gotta ask Tarek. Tarek, how'd you feel, man? That's one of the kids. He's putting on now.
I'm sitting here trying to think: are we gonna rate the knee slides? Because I mean, his is pretty nice. Haaland does them all the time too. Sometimes he be falling over though. Mm-hmm. So it is interesting.
Foden has a clean one.
Foden does.
Foden gets his
Foden's
going.
Is nice. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is that he's so little, right? So Nico and Haaland are larger, so it covers more ground. The force momentum. It's a physics lesson, and he's just moving across the grass so beautifully. But yeah, it's beautiful to watch, man. He earned that knee slide.
We're gonna have to get some clips and do a rate the celebration.
Yeah.
Anyway, of course, you're definitely super excited to see the young man score. Again, he is excelling anywhere you put him on the pitch. He is just playing out of his mind right now. And I can't even say, oh, he's just hit a purple patch, right? No, he's been really good since last season. Came in this season, I think Pep wanted to play him out in midfield. Ryan Aït-Nouri got injured. He ended up back at left back, continued to excel. And then when he got moved into midfield again, once Aït-Nouri came back from AFCON, it's just been a smooth transition. He really is one of those players that you talk about first names on the team sheet. He's playing. People always joke about Pep having his favorites, and Bernardo's going to play, or when it was Gundogan, he's going to play, whatever. Right now, I don't know where he's going to line up, but I know he's in the team because he's just been that good. So kudos to that young man. Like you said, just really, he's a kid. And when you see him excelling, it's just really happy. He is, again, Foden has been doing it longer, but he is pushing for that title of, best player to come out of the academy. It's going to take a while because, again, Foden has that head start on him, but I could easily see him getting young player of the season this year.
Yes.
And that just starts those individual trophies. We know as long as he's around and City get back to those normal levels, then he's going to get team trophies. But, picking up those individual trophies is probably not what he's playing for, but it's a recognition of how good he's been. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Now, on Nico, I saw the shouts to the Sky Blue Times on X. They said Erling Haaland is the first player to cross the 3,000 minutes mark this season with 3,010. Nico O'Reilly is next up with 2,900 minutes. 2,900 minutes in your age 19, 20 season. Like, that's insane. And when you compare, this is another thing I looked up because I was bored. I was like, hey, how did Phil Foden do in his age 19 season, right? So I went back to the 21-22 season. He had 37 total appearances, 10 goals, 5 assists, and only played 2,600 minutes in all competitions. So like, you just see like Nico O'Reilly is doing the thing that like you expect when people you hear names like Lamine Yamal and like young Mbappe, like the way he's taking over, he has a shot to be in the Premier League team of the season. Like if you want to put him in at left back, you can't name too many that are better. The problem, him switching out to center mid, he's probably going to take himself out of that because he can have so many minutes in midfield. But his output is incredible.
Yeah, which is why I said, I asked the question, does playing in midfield take him out of contention to be England's left back? If he was playing at left back consistently, then, he's going to be the left back. Yeah. But when you have a Lewis Hall and others that are playing there week in, week out, do you bring him in and play him at this point out of position? But at the same hand, having that versatility, having a player that can play in either position is valuable for a World Cup. So I'm not going to be surprised if he goes to or comes to the U.S. I hope he does. But, I can see a world where he doesn't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, man. Like, nobody would have expected in August to have Nico O'Reilly in World Cup starting conversations, right? Like, if you would have told us this the first week of the season, what you mean? What you mean? Yeah. So it's just it's a crazy run.
Well, hate this goal happened. Lewis Hall evens it up thanks to a set piece goal. Got the luck of deflecting off of Nori. I know deflected shots, yes, annoying, irritating, but it's all luck. Like, we've seen so many deflections go completely elsewhere. What was funny is listening to the Man City replay, the commentators were like, there were 3 players offside that technically blocked Donnarumma's view from seeing the goal or seeing the ball. Why wasn't that called? There was enough distance away from Donnarumma where it wasn't like directly on him. Also, we know how inconsistent PGMOL calls, all of those things. I saw some people who were really pissed at giving up another set piece goal. Like Sharpie and I were just like, hey, this is a deflection. Like, do you want them to do better? I guess technically yes. Because they gave him all that space. Everybody was crowded by the keeper, and then they had to run out quickly to get in front of Lewis Hall to get the shot off. You would hope that they would just put one person out on the edge of the box. Maybe that stops that from happening. Who knows? That's ifs, maybes, and possiblies. I don't like living in that world. Tarek, what were your thoughts on that Lewis Hall goal?
I mean, definitely disappointed to see that go in, but also recognizing, like you just called out, that it was in fact a deflection. And it's not like it was just a small, it was a big deflection. So as a keeper, there's nothing you can really do. You're seeing it late. Do I think that, because it bounced off of our guy, I don't know if the offside thing would have come into play. I don't know. Probably should have, but at the end of the day, like you said, it's a deflected goal. It evens it up. You like being up, but it evens it up. So now it's just basically 0-0 again. Yeah. Let's go from here. I thought we should have enough to win it. So while it's unfortunate, you like to see the clean sheet, so on and so forth, but at the end of the day, all right, it's back to business as usual. It's 0-0. Let's go. Or 0-0.
What's funny about that is while we were watching it, I was just like, well, that went in. Like, only goals that upset me are when we get beat on the counter, because I feel like those are like the most preventable goals, and they like just hurt the most because you get cut through. Kind of like when we went up to Norway and Bodo Glimt just killed us.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they abused us on the counter. That's when I was like, oh, they different. But unless that's happening, I'm not really upset if you hit a banger outside the box or a deflection from outside the box or a shoulder slide free kick. Like, these are the things I'm like, hey, you can't score an open play against us. And that's the goal of defense, right? We're going to make it as hard as possible for you to score, in the regular play. And then like you get these, I won't say luck because it takes some skill, but very low percentage, low XG type of goals. Hey, we move. And, we predicted 3-1 on the watch along. So I was like, well, let's go get 2 more. Like, we didn't predict the clean sheet for a reason.
Exactly. And Nico O'Reilly, 5 minutes later, gave City the lead with a banger of a header. Oh, so shout out to the patience from the players. They were just knocking the ball right to left with movement. It wasn't too slow. They were making decisions quicker. Semenyo cuts in from the right, cuts in a little bit. He drew all the attention. That gave Haaland just a moment to slip past the defender. Semenyo passes the ball forward to him. Haaland gets in his winger bag, dinks it over left, and Nico O'Reilly got in his striker bag. He's like, I've seen Haaland do this a few times. I know what to do. I'm also 6'5". So he soars, gets up in the air, heads it across the keeper too. So it goes the opposite direction he's going. That is real striker stuff. He really shows his goal scoring abilities in different ways with these 2 goals. Just absolutely amazing from him.
He's got. Oh, go ahead, Terry. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say the Haaland assist because you don't expect it, and the agenda and the talking points around Haaland is all he can do is score goals. All he can do is tap ins or little whatever, and people negate his footballing ability. And that assist, he put it perfectly up there for Nico to go get. And you think about the fact that Haaland is now tied for second in the PL with the Ryan Shirky on 7, I think it is. So we all know Shirky is super creative, whatever. But Haaland doesn't get that credit, and I think again he's showing there's more to his game than just scoring goals. He's the best in the world at that, and that's what he's going to focus on. But if you try to take away his goal scoring, he can still do other things to contribute, let alone the defensive side, which we'll get to, whatever. But yeah, so I wanted to shout him out for that because, again, I think it goes unnoticed, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to talk about Nico O'Reilly real quick again in this way, because you said the header, he kind of looks at Haaland. We saw the first goal was the left foot. I'm like, is he just basically taking skills from different people on the team? Like, because he has like Rodri's physique, he has Haaland's leaping ability, Phil Foden's left foot, like the dribbling, creativity, the motor of like a Tijani Reinders. Like, he really can do everything. I don't think he has a single weakness on the pitch. And not saying like everything is excellent, but like he's a 7 or higher at every single skill you want in a footballer. And it's just the beginning. Like it's when he headed it, I was like, wait, it went in? Like that was it? It was so quick.
Yep.
Watching it live. Yeah, it was so easy, so simple. Like they're on the training ground. Yeah, it's what a moment, man, to be a City Academy product at the Etihad in a game we need to win after giving up a goal to go get a brace. Come on, man. Like they write movies about this stuff.
Nico O'Reilly is Blackbeard from One Piece. If you know, you know. The funny thing about this Nico O'Reilly performance, yes, he had the 2 goals that made the difference in the match. But if you look at the statistics to tell you a story, he had 14 less touches than Erling Haaland, but he lost the ball 11 times. Haaland lost the ball 12 times. He only had 22 meters of carrying distance, which was a fifth of what Erling Haaland had. He only won 2 of his 7 duels, only had 1 defensive contribution and 3 recoveries. He did a lot of that, like, dirty work where he was running up the pitch. He was making the second City would have the ball, he's sprinting up the pitch. He was making Newcastle have to pay attention to him. You can't double, triple team players. You can't run in with these Newcastle ass tackles you had to respect everybody on that pitch. And he just did a lot of the things that statistics don't read. It was very much, obviously, with the goals that helps. But him and Bernardo together were just keeping things nice and tidy or making it messy at the right times when it was needed. So I was very amazed by what he did. 15 shots, 7 of those were on target, 5 big chances, 4 of them missed. The one goal that Newcastle scored was a deflection. But other than that, City were pretty damn dominant in the match. And when we were watching it live during the watch along, we were just like, yeah, I'm very happy with how City looked in the second half. They didn't capitulate. They looked very much in control. Bringing on Foden, bringing on Shirky, that was nice. But then when I was watching the replay, I did see kind of how like wasteful people were, and that watching the replay, knowing how the game went, I could kind of be a little more critical. Did any of you guys, like, thinking back on it now, like, feel similar that the club was wasteful in the match?
I mean, we missed some chances, right? Like the Ainuri break was probably the worst one to me, because it was a clear like, hey, you crossed it, you center the ball like playing Haaland very easily, or shoot, but do something.
Yeah, I'll say it looked like that pass may not have been on, but you got to be decisive in getting the shot off. That's, I think, I just wanted him to be decisive in that moment, and I felt like he was still kind of hemming and hawing, and then before you know it, the chance is gone.
Yeah, it was going so fast and ran out of space. And then like the other one that came to mind was like the Semenyo one where he got a great ball and it was just like a really like kind of weak shot, tame shot at the keeper. He skied it one time. Like, here's the thing, like I was saying on the watch along, if that was Savinho doing the same thing Semenyo did this match, people would have lost their heads.
Crucified him.
Because it was not his best match. And I mean, he had a great assist. He played a great key pass, all that thing. He had a great key pass, sorry. But he didn't get a GRA. He made some mistakes. He wasn't super clinical with the ball. Like, he wasn't good. But because he's, not Savinho, it's like, okay, well, we're good. But yeah, he didn't have a good game. Marmoush had a great assist, but his shooting was a little off. So could we have had 4 in that match? Easily. But the thing is, they didn't score the last, 60 minutes of the match. Like, that's incredible defense. That's what you do. And can we talk about Pep sub? Because I think that's what actually secured the win for us. If he doesn't sub on Kuznetsov at halftime, I think we lose or draw.
Yes, because we can talk about that. Pep acknowledged that he was asked, and he said, yes, it was a tactical sub. Diaz got the yellow. He was getting dealt with that entire match. He was very much struggling with the long balls, the hold-up play. It was kind of like jarring seeing him struggle like that. So for Kuznetsov to come in and do his thing, Sharpie, what were your thoughts on Kuznetov's performance?
I mean, he is kind of making his case known that he should be starting beside Gay in the biggest matches against the best talent. Because when you play a striker who has pace, Diaz is going to be not going to do too well in the foot race, and they're going to put him up on Diaz. They're not going to put him on Gay, right? They either put him on the weaker one or the slower one. And it's nothing against Diaz. Like, this is not me bashing him at all. It's just like when something else comes along, it's just like Nico O'Reilly has put Phil Foden and Ryan Shirky on the bench. Think about it. They were starting that position all year, back and forth, right? Sometimes together. And now Nico O'Reilly's like, no, this is mine. And I think Kuznetsov and Pep sees it like, this is the time. I can trust him with Gahey. I can trust Nunez beside him. Like, if we want to do the things we want to do on all fronts, you're going to need to see Kuznetsov more. And, I mean, credit to him, because when he comes on those slide tackles, oh, my God. Like, it's like old school football, the way he just gets out there and just goes. I love it. How do you feel about him, Terry?
No, I agree. I was looking at my notes. So I made a note at the 34th minute, a note in the 40th minute. Somewhere in between there, I made a note that Newcastle with Elanga and Gordon looked dangerous in transition without that blazing pace of Kuznetsov at center back. I knew we needed him. I didn't expect Pep to bring him on at halftime, just to be honest, because that's not Pep's way. But it was obvious that Diaz had nothing for those two on the wings. And so that yellow card that he got was basically, I have no other option. This guy's in on goal. I got to do something. And so, yeah, I give credit to Pep.
Yep.
Doesn't always make subs when we want them, but he made this one just in time. So,
because Kron, we were shocked, right? Like we were like, wait, that's Kuzanov.
Right?
Who's he coming in for?
yeah, because I didn't even see it at first. It was just like, wait a minute, wait, he's in.
Yeah, didn't.
Man, yeah, that was. I mean, here's the thing: like a great manager always is evolving, and Pep is not the same man from the treble season. Like he's changed in 3 years, right? Like he has a new squad. You know, he's adapting to the talent there, and maybe Diaz had a half step more pace back then in the treble season, and right now it's just not there. So we got the fastest center back literally in the Champions League in the world. Let's put him on the pitch and shut down any hope they have, because they could not, without Bruno G, they don't have a creative force in the midfield. So we knew going into the match, the only way they could beat us is a set piece to Dan Burn or whatever, and it happened to be Lewis Hall, or they hit us on pace with Gordon and Longa. And once you take away the pace, it was like, all right, good luck, y'all. So masterful stroke by Pep. I love a 2-1 win. Of course, we all want 3, 4, 5 goals, but 2-1 says, hey, we can win the tough ones. And man, the team, the crowd, everybody was just, it almost looked like we won a cup, the way people like were celebrating. And I love that because it mattered that much and they put so much into it.
Yeah. With the chance to have shrink the lead to Arsenal to 2 points until they played on Sunday, the fact of being able to score in the first 15 minutes and then keep the opponent from scoring second half has been very much a struggle this year. 2026 was our biggest weakness all of last season. So to be able to do this now in multiple games, we've actually seen them do great in the second half. It really does feel like a change is here. And Tarek mentioned it about wanting to show Haaland some love, and I actually do. This was one of the notes that I wrote because I looked up his numbers and everything. And I even have Pep talking about what he did. But it was one of Haaland's most complete performances that we've seen at Man City. And I mean complete from every part of the pitch. He was helpful. You saw him collapse at the end of the match because he was exhausted. He had one big chance created, which was the assist. He won 3 of his 5 take-ons, so he was dribbling through people, which he did have a couple of those where I was like, oh my God. He had 43 touches. 5 progressive carries. He won 12 of his 19 duels, 4 defensive contributions, 3 clearances. The only problem with this performance is that Pep is going to start expecting this every match. Pep showed Erling love in the locker room. Someone asked him about that in the post-match interview. He said that Erling to him was the man of the match. And he also said this.
I would prefer to defend, but when there is a long balls and Erling strike, I have to go central defender, and Burns and Joelinton at the end, and all the pace in behind and the people, so we had to help us. So, listen, I'm not a big fan to put Erling to defend, but help us. So, and I know after that how the people hug him and celebrate him and say the gratitude to help us, because Newcastle allowed us to do that. And only I have it sad for him because there are a lot of actions that could make the last pass to him and didn't find him. And it's difficult for him, run and fight. They don't give the balls to, to score the goals. But sometimes the game is like that, and he's an incredible, generous player. So today is a performance I never forget what Erling has done for us.
Absolutely amazing performance from Erling Haaland. And obviously this rest was incredibly helpful to him and helped him do what he needed in order to have such a complete match. And I assume now, with another week, with 3 days off, we should hopefully see this again. It's Leeds, and we'll get to that. I'm not quite sure if he will have to do all of that again. But I want to also show some love to Rodri, because this was his best performance since he's returned from injury. He stayed back more, and he battled in the midfield, making sure that Newcastle's bully tactics didn't work. He got City out of a lot of sticky situations. He earned 3 fouls. He had 211 meters of carrying distance, but only 95 of that was progressive. He basically would just receive the ball and kind of dribble sideways or dribble back into open space before he turned around and passed the ball. But he was spraying it all over the pitch like he has since he's returned. He won 12 of his 13 duels, 6 recoveries, 4 clearances, and an interception. Like, this was a defensive lockdown. He made up for, Marmoush was really only focused on countering, running up the pitch, long distance dribbling. He was able to focus on that because Rodri was doing his thing, because Nico O'Reilly and Bernardo Silva were running around. Oh my gosh. Haven't even mentioned Bernardo Silva versus Dan Burn the entire match. Like, that was the best story, the most hilarious story.
That was the luckiest story because he should have got a second yellow. Like, if I was
Do
a
you
Newcastle
really think
fan,
that was a second yellow?
That's definitely a yellow. Hell yeah. He didn't play the ball. He jumped into the man. A ref could have called that a yellow easily. We're biased because we're City fans, but if you were like watching another match, like, yo, that should be a yellow card. That's crazy. Why he jump into him like that? Like, it looks silly on replay. Now it looked crazy in the moment, but seeing replays, I'm like, yo, we got off with that one because that would have changed the whole match. He lost his head.
Yes,
and
he did.
It was actually very, very dangerous. And if it was a different player,
maybe not such a smaller player, do you think it's because he was so small and he like barely knocked Dan Burn down?
I mean, maybe. I'm saying it from the standpoint of, like, if another player on the team does that, pick your player who's not the captain, Bernardo. Like, if Mateus Nunes does that same thing,
why he was given the benefit
people
of
are
the
going
doubt.
crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefit of doubt going on, which I get, but it was a risky choice. I'll say that.
Interesting.
Thankfully, it didn't cost us anything.
See, and I feel like it's a 50-50. It wasn't entirely a denial of a goal scoring opportunity. It was a foul. Yes, it was 100% was a foul, but like a yellow just feels very heavy handed. Gave love to Rodri. Okay, cool. Here is Nico O'Reilly, aka Young Auto Parts, post match. Man of many words, whispering them.
We came into the game needing the 3 points. It closes the gap now. Buzzing with the win. I mean, they pushed us to the very end. They was throwing balls into the box all second half. Every one of us on that pitch gave 120% effort, and that's all we need every game. We love scoring goals. Very happy with them both. We always believe, and I agree, we're building great momentum. We was able to have a bit of a rest with no midweek game, which always helps, rest the legs a bit. I think we're doing well.
And this is funny that this is him actually doing a lot better in interviews. I wonder what it's like when he gets talkative. What is talkative Nico O'Reilly like? That's what I want to see. That's what I want the City doc to get for us. Let's hear a silly, talkative Nico O'Reilly. What does that look like? Does that even exist? Like, honestly, it wouldn't even surprise me if that isn't. Like, he's just always answering with like 5 to 7 words to anything anyone says to him.
Something he said in that clip was momentum, and I think what got lost on this current run because of the capitulation at Spurs, where we gave up those 2 goals to Solanke and came away with a draw. We haven't lost since Bodo Glimt. Like, this is actually a really good run of form overall. Again, that was a terrible half, terrible 10 minutes, killed the vibes for that one, but we recovered the rest of the month, 5 straight wins in all competitions. Got the rest coming up before Leeds to finish off the month Saturday. Like, we're in such a good space. Health is good, right? Seville's on the bench. Doku's coming back hopefully next week. Things are looking up, guys. Like, this feels like it usually does around this time, like, for us. Other than last season. Even now, like, even last year, we got in a flow and we kicked on for the run-in, and like, this is our time where we get big.
Yeah, he said
almost
Savio
ran down Arsenal last season.
Yeah, he said Savio could have started, but he just wanted to give a different look. So Savio is healthy enough to play. Tarek, I had talked about Haaland's game, and I gave some like stats and just how it was a really complete performance. And I remember you mentioning earlier how we might talk about his defensive contributions. So I wondered if you wanted to.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know Pep, I think I don't have his quote in front of me. You probably already played it, or maybe you have it, but where he's talking about, I don't want him at center back. I don't want him doing that defensive work because I much prefer him to be up the pitch. But when your striker is working as hard as he is defensively, the rest of the team's got to follow that because, normally your striker's just hanging out up top, waiting for the ball to come back their way. And just, it's all about offense. But, he's out there again. He's 6'4", 6'5". So he's one of the biggest dudes on the pitch. He's battling with Dan Burn. He's clearing the ball out. He's doing all these things. Just again, as a striker, he gets defined by goals and assists. He got an assist, and really truly about goals. He got an assist in the game, but there was so much more that he did that I thought was really good beside just the counting stats, the goals, the assists, the things like that, right? His effort, his energy, his work rate was impressive. So if he ever gets his shooting boots back on and he starts scoring at the clip that he was earlier in the season and does all this other stuff, watch out league. It's already watch out league, but he's going to be unplayable. So yeah, I just wanted to give him his due because he worked really hard. And I think for some people, like I said, it's all about goals and assists for him. And that's probably a little unfair.
Yeah. 43 touches, 5 progressive carries, won 12 of his 19 duels, 4 defensive contributions, 3 clearances. The 43 touches isn't insane because he always gets killed for having like 5 touches in a match, even though he'll have like 5 touches and 2 goals.
It'd be like 12.
Yeah.
12 touches. Yeah. And people they like to make a point about it. But you didn't hear any announcers saying that, did you? When Haaland, it's only his 7th touch this game. You hear that every week, but you didn't hear 41 touches last week or at the weekend. Why not? Because it doesn't fit their agenda. It doesn't fit their narrative. It's irritating. But, like I said, credit to where credit is due. He played really well.
Yes, he did. After the win, Pep, silly, lighthearted, he was asked if what the players need. And again, this is me paraphrasing. He was asked, what do the players need to go be more of the mentality monsters of today as opposed to the mentality Muppets of at the beginning of the season?
I said to them, guys, what do you have to do? The mental courage, take a lot of caipirinhas, daiquiris in these 3 days. Enjoy life. And after that, make a proper 3 training sessions and go to Leeds. That is a proper way that always we did it. Because you said, no, if you win here, and now Arsenal will do that, or Aston Villa, and now we're going to do it, and after that, slap in your face, and what you thought is completely the opposite. See? And that is what you have to do. Win the next game. And if it doesn't go well, keep going. Never give up.
Have some daiquiris, have a caipirinha. I looked up what a caipirinha is. It is Brazil's national cocktail. It's muddled wine, sugar, and caraca liquor. Caraca is a fermented and distilled sugarcane juice. It predates rum, actually. It has a grassy, vegetal, funky flavor, which the lime and sugar can help. What you do, you can have it in 2 ways. You can have it the Branca, which is like the white silver version, which is normally in a caipirinha, or there's the Amarela, which is the gold aged in wood barrels native to Brazil for 3 to 15 years. So, those 3 days off, have a nice little cocktail, hang out, go to somewhere warm, come back refreshed, and kick some ass like Haaland did. Okay. Leeds. It's at Leeds, at Ellen Road. In the 8 games that Man City and Leeds have played each other, City are 6-1-1 against the Whites. That's what they're called, the Whites. Leeds, their only win against City was at the Etihad. It was back in 2021. Leeds this season allow 1.7 goals per match. They score 1.1 goals per match. That's not great. But they are very aggressive defensively. They're 7th in the league with possession 1 in the final third. They are averaging 9.3 interceptions a match, which is 3rd in the league. And they are 5th in conceded penalties. So again, shout out to Bryn Law for coming on, for doing the match preview. Really good conversation. He did say that he does think Arsenal are the better team this season, and he would be completely shocked if they somehow don't manage to win it. One of the things that he says is the 2 games that Arsenal and Leeds played each other, Arsenal were heads and above the better team. I think they won. It was like 9-2 cumulative aggregate score in those 2 games, where the last game, it took a last-second goal from Phil Foden to pull away the win. He is hoping that something similar like that happens this weekend. I told him that City have been playing well. I think they are set up to handle that. They haven't really played with 2 up top. They've still done the 1, and then they'll bring on, like if Calvert-Lewin starts, then Nemechka comes on in the second half, and then they do 2 at the top. Like that's how he does like a change up. I would be very interested in seeing the lineup that Farke starts with Leeds. Tarek, we will start with you. How do you see this match going? What do you got for a score prediction?
Well, they're going to try to make it super compact. 5-4-1 is what I'm looking at as far as their lineup. So if that's how they're going to play, like I said, they're going to try to be very, very defensive, hit us on the counter. So, hopefully we see, well, I shouldn't say hopefully. There's a strong chance we see a Kuznetsov from the beginning.
That's what I was going to ask. That was going to be my next question.
But, and I think we've been playing with the 2 behind Haaland, very, very narrow. I don't know. I feel like you got to do maybe something else. I don't know. But all in all, it's going to be a tight game. At least they're going to try to keep it tight. If we get an early goal, maybe they have to come out and actually play. But I imagine it's probably a 2-1, or even actually I'm gonna say a 1-0.
Oh,
Okay. 1-0.
Win.
1-0 win. Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
It could easily be 2-1, but because if they get a goal, it's possible. But I'm gonna go 1-0. I don't think it'll. They don't. Yeah. They give up goals, but they've played very well to keep a lot of draws and stuff like that, which is keeping them out of that relegation zone. But 1-1 against Villa, I think it was 1-1 against Birmingham City, 2-2 against Chelsea. But they beat actually Nottingham Forest 3-1. So again, and then they got stomped out by Arsenal 4-0. So it could. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to go with that 1-0.
I like that 1-0. I was looking back to see when's the last time in the league we faced a back 5. And based on what I saw, it was when we played Wolves. And we won 2-0. And that lineup that we started, that was actually Kuznetsov, Gahey as center backs. O'Reilly was a left back then. You had Rodri, then you had the 4 across of Semenyo, Reinders, Silva, and Shirky. I could see something similar with this team because you need more creativity. So this is definitely a match for Shirky.
I was gonna say you got to get one of the creators on the pitch, and in my mind that's Shirky, because you got to break down that 5 at the back.
So Semenyo and Shirky.
And I mean, here's the thing, like, what is that?
So what's the form? Is it Semenyo, Shirky left, right, or is Shirky centrally?
I would say Semenyo, Shirky left, right, Silva beside O'Reilly
and Rodri
as the 4.
Okay, cool.
And Rodri behind, so like in the 4-5-1, whatever. And then Nori on the left. So like, I think like you have to have creativity. We're gonna have the ball over 68, 70% of the time, and Leeds is not prolific, man. Like, they're not gonna outshoot us and outscore us. Like, we're gonna win. I think this is a good clean sheet for us. I know Ellen Road is tough to play in, but I'm gonna say we go with a nice professional 2-0 win, and then we get ready for a big March.
I like that. I will do a 2-0 Sharpie clean sheet. So it could be 3-1. I'm suspecting a 3-1, but I would love a 2-0. Like 2-0 is best case scenario, but I think it's win by 2.
Man, and now I know I'm in running mode because I just want to win. I don't care what it looked like. I don't care who scored.
Exactly.
We can be on go FC, set piece FC, get 3 points. We played the day before Arsenal. They got Chelsea on Sunday. Let's make them feel some heat.
Come on, Chelsea.
Take care of business.
I know y'all ain't gonna do it, but come on, Chelsea. Perfect. Go. Baby Blue Baddies, this is our Man City women's segments. So the FA Cup match against Sheffield United, it was at the Joy Stadium. Jeggy acknowledged the spirit is high after the big win against Leicester City, but there are always things that the ladies can work on. He's looking forward to the challenge of the players leaving for the Asia Cup. Like, yes, there's going to be a long break, but there's going to be chances for the players to fill in, step up. He is aware that, you know, players aren't getting the minutes that maybe they deserve because they're not in Champions League, but he applauds the players who lack minutes for keeping focus and trying to grow their game because their moment will come. The international break is 3 weeks off. Then there are 4 games and then another 3 weeks off before the final fixtures of the season. Does Jeggy think all of that stopping could mess up what they have going?
No, and I don't think it's a problem. I think we have said it also I think we discussed it in autumn also. I think somebody was asking the same, you don't want an international break now when you're winning. But the players have been doing it well for so long. I think the start of 2026 was quite intense with tough games against Chelsea 2 times and Arsenal and the other league games. So I think we have been pushing it quite hard the last weeks. So for the team, it is a great opportunity for leaving the league where we are at the moment with that performance, and then aiming for getting the same performance on Sunday, and then the players get some international games going away, and then hopefully coming back with the same energy, and then have a couple of games, very interesting and important games coming ahead for the league. So
we went in. No time off is going to mess that up. And before we get into the match last, I have Jeggy on what he is expecting to see from Sheffield.
Definitely, we've seen in both cups that these games is not just going in and expecting to get a good result. We need to do the game as we wanted to done. So if we're going to get a good result and a good performance, we need to show up and do as we normally are doing every week. And if we do that, of course, we should win the game. But we have fully respect for the opponent, and we're going to treat the game as a normal league game for us.
Starting 11 was Keating, Benet, Pryor, Greenwood, Wahhabi, Coffey, Blinkilde, Clinton, Fujino, Hemp, and Fowler. As expected, lots of rotation. Yamashita, Rose, Knack, Hasegawa, Minima, Carolyn, or Bunny to starts. Knack, Coombs, Lohman, Shaw, and Murphy all came on as subs. First 6 minutes, the goal came in 6 minutes of the match. It was an amazing key pass from Aoba Fujino. It's the pass that we see from Yui that does all the time, where she just passes it straight and it cuts through all the lines and a player is able to just kind of run in from an angle. So Fujino does that pass right to Benet. She runs onto it and just sends this low fizzing cross that beats the keeper. Him just has to tap it into the goal. It was kind of awkward because like the keeper just didn't time it well. There was even a defender who let it go too. It was, the sun was right in the keeper's eye, so maybe that was it. But I feel like it was in both Keating and the keeper's eyes. No excuse, because the second goal 4 minutes later was basically a 95% copy of the first goal. This time it was Fujino out wide touching the line. She goes to make a run to the goal, but has to turn around. And when she turns around to dribble backwards, Benet cuts forward. Fujino does this really nice side pass, square pass that, again, Benet can receive in stride. Low fizzing cross across goal, beats defenders and the keeper. But this time, Hemp had to slide to get to the ball to tap it in. After that, you could see Sheffield were like visibly frustrated. They just tried to go long. They were just forcing it, huffing it, which, I mean, is kind of what you expect. They also have been struggling in the WSL too. This was their best chance to get something going. Then there was the third goal from Fujino that was assisted by Blinky. It was honestly Foden-esque because she received the ball with her back to the goal in a small space surrounded by people, did a half turn, took a dribble, shot the ball across the keeper neatly into the goal. It was just very nice. After that, another goal wasn't until the last like 50 seconds of the match. Again, we saw the subs being made. When Lohman came on, I don't know if she was like talking stuff from the sidelines or something, but the tackles they were putting on her were very lower league, and they seemed unnecessary. It was very interesting. There was even one after one tackle. It was right before they scored the fourth. Lohman went up to the player who had just tackled her, and she was just like, bro, what are you doing? She's like pointing at her leg, and the ref had to come in and be like, hey, you two separate. Like, I legit thought she was about to go start a fight. I was like, whoop her ass, because it was. So those tackles were stupid. And then the fourth goal came in from a corner from Wahhabi. Kanak aimed the header. Wahhabi sends the ball in. Kanak gets a perfect head to it, aims it for the corner. It's not high enough, because then if it would have just went over the defender, but they're able to head it down, bounce right to Coombs, who knocks it in. That was the match. It was very easy. The players didn't try really hard. Oh, well, excuse me, that's disrespectful. The players did try very hard. They were very aggressive with passing. That's what I really love to see, was they were taking chances. They were giving each other opportunities to create something. And then if they lost the ball, they were swarming whoever on Sheffield had the ball at the moment. Coffee looked amazing. Very Rodri-esque, how she would just kind of receive the ball and just dinking it around everybody. Jeggy has talked about her how she's communicates and how she has no problem talking. And you really could see it. Like, after every pass, she was like pointing where people needed to go. She was telling everybody what they needed to do. I thought that was hilarious, because you really don't see many people doing that. Like, every now and then you'll see Greenwood do it, but to see Coffee do it almost every single play, she knew where people needed to go. She was very much a leader, even though she has just joined the club, and it was really nice to see. Yeah, fantastic from the ladies. Very proud of them. Moved on to the next round.
Have they done the draw? Do we know who we have next?
Yep, that was next. So there are 4 teams, or 8 teams. It's the quarterfinals. Charlton Athletic host Liverpool. Chelsea host Tottenham Hotspur, who Tottenham beat London City Lioness today in extra time. Arsenal host Brighton and Hove Albion, and Birmingham City host Manchester City. So Birmingham City should be an easy win, respectfully. but their chance.
Disrespectfully for me. What? All this respect. I don't care about Birmingham City, the lower league club. Thank you.
What are they? Are they WSL 2?
No,
Yeah.
They actually played London City Lioness in the play-in match last season. So they almost ended up in the WSL. Last season felt like the year for them. They were, if I remember right, they were winning the play-in match last season, and then London City Lioness just turned it on. Birmingham City, they're in second, so they would be in that play-in game, or no, they would be the second team who would get promoted if they hold place.
Yeah, because 2 get promoted. Yep. Third place gets the play-in game against the last place in WSL. Got it. Okay. Yep. Going from 12 to 14. Okay.
I was saying now because they're extending the league, right?
Yep.
So going from 12 to 14. You just said it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So the game against Birmingham.
There's a big gap between Charlton and Birmingham City in second, but then second to 5th is 3 points, so it's a little tighter in that 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 range. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah,
we'll be very interested. And again, the game isn't until April 5th, so that's a whole month away. A lot can happen. There are a couple of breaks in between. But with Birmingham, like how obviously you're going to want to play your best sides. But if they have to choose between making sure they don't tire out all their players before like another big match, because they were supposed to play Sunderland on April 5th. So now that's going to be pushed into maybe a midweek match. Like, I'm not sure how that's going to work. Or are they going to move the Bristol game earlier? Like, it's going to have to get weird for both sides, honestly. So it'll be very interesting to see what Birmingham City do. I was able to find a Birmingham City supporter to come on and talk with us, so we'll have a match preview for that as well.
I will say that I should have pointed out that they have a game in hand. They only have 15 played, whereas a lot of the other teams have 16, and they have the biggest goal differential in WSL 2, even bigger than Charlton, who's in first place. Charlton is only plus 15. Birmingham City is plus 21. So
going work. I want to point out, because I know I'm going to forget this, I'm going to say it on record. In the league, City women only need 11 points from the final 6 matches. And honestly, if we beat United, that number goes even further down because they're chasing us in second. So we control our fate. We could have the title wrapped up if we win our 3 games in March by the time we play Birmingham City. Like, if we win our first 3, the title's ours. So I'm excited to go on the run and have a whole month just to celebrate.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, to be able to just have the team legitimately just focus on the other cup games. And you can rotate, get other players in shape, rest other players. Yeah, that would be brilliant. That'd be really nice, actually. So international break, it begins. No match for our baby Blue Baddies because of the Asian Cup and World Cup qualifiers to also be in. Asian Cup is between March 1st. The final is March 21st. Mary Fowler will complete her remarkable return to football, basically 11 months after an ACL injury. She'll be playing for Australia. Yamashita, Hasegawa, and Fujino will represent Japan. The last group stage match is March 15th. If any of those countries are out, Australia's kind of in the air because they lost their goalkeeper, but Sam Kerr's starting to cook. Mary Fowler, they're going to do their thing. We'll see. But the March 15th is the final group stage match. So players could be back by the 15th, but they're playing a game every 3 days in this competition. They're going to play 3 games in a week. So if they come back, I know Jeggy's going to let them rest up for that match, possibly even the one after that.
Looking at the standings, I mean, the 3 groups, I'll be shocked if even without a keeper, Australia, they have enough talent to make it out of a group with Iran, South Korea, and the Philippines.
Yes.
They just got to win 2 of those. Even a draw against South Korea would be great. And then Japan is the best team in Asia, and they have Chinese Taipei, India, and Vietnam. They're probably going to score like 10 plus goals in those 3 matches. So we'll see our girls back in April. Yep, we'll see you in April. Y'all be good.
Yes, enjoy that time off. Yeah. Well, not time off because you'll be playing, but
enjoy the weather.
Yes.
Enjoy that.
Enjoy. Oh, right. Facts. Big facts. All right, show bros. That's our episode. Let people know where they can find you and the things that you do. Tarek, we'll start with you.
You can find me tomorrow evening, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, 11:30 p.m. UK time. You can find me on YouTube on my channel, Tarek Peterson, just my name. You can find me there for a show that I do every Tuesday night, Talk Back Tuesday. It's a chance for anyone to jump on and have their say. Like you're listening to this now. You listen to YouTube, you watch whatever, but you don't often get to you're spoken to or at not to get a chance always to be able to voice your own thoughts. And so Talk Back Tuesday is that thing. So you can find me there Tuesday nights, but anytime else you can find me on social media with just my name at Tarek Peterson, TarikPeterson.
Sharpie.
Let's go. You can find me at Sharpie Charlie on the socials. You can find me doing watch alongs with the homie Crunk. So we got last one of Black History Month this Saturday afternoon. We go on 15 minutes before kickoff. So looking forward to finishing out February with a win. And yeah, man, just come holler at us.
At Shades of Blue NW, at Shades of Blue NW. Check out our Patreon, rate, review, say some nice things in the reviews. Comment if you're watching on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and I'm talking to Olive York about SOB shirt coming. We're gonna do like a very limited number, see how people feel about it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes.
Perfect for the spring. Yep. I love it.
Yep. Hey, you know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang.